Welcome to another exciting episode of the Facts and Opinions podcast with Arabin Ramat and Oluwa Victor. You enjoyed the last episode, don't you? Yes, you do. Have you followed and subscribed to our YouTube channel at the Facts and Opinions podcast? Have you followed us on X, on IG, on Facebook, and all other social media platforms? We are still expecting your followbacks, and we would really love you to follow us to enjoy more of our exciting content of the Facts and Opinions podcast. And today we have another exciting guest on the seat. It's not a hot seat, it's a subtle one because we don't like to put tension on our guests. Victor, Aviva Oni.
We don't do that.
Yeah, our gentle. That is why we are relaxed. Ogami, calm down, relax.
Don't fear. Don't fear.
It's not an hot seat.
We got you. Don't worry. So it's a beautiful one, and we are so excited to have this important personality in our midst today.
Exactly.
We are very, very happy to have him. And ladies and gentlemen, we would love him to introduce himself to us, how he liked to be acknowledged, how he liked to be called, and we'll take it from that.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
The introduction, I don't know where to start from.
Go, girl.
I don't know where to start from. Okay, let me start from somewhere. My name is Afuda Samuel. Yeah. I am a lawyer by profession.
Okay.
I'm a broadcaster by
Wiwa Owo.
I shall not say I did. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a mediapreneur. I run a media organization, and also I'm an author.
Okay.
So I just like to say I'm an entertainment and media practitioner. Let's just leave it that way. But they love to call me the God on radio whenever I'm on the radio doing what I love to do.
God on radio.
Yes. God on radio. Okay.
That is
a big one.
Do you know when someone is called God? That means you have worshippers.
Small genius. Don't set me up for small. God is small genius.
That means you have worshippers. You have people that worship you, people that...
Maybe his listeners.
I will not say
today
worship.
we'll find out.
I will not say worshippers. I'll say devotees.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Oh, okay. You said you are a lawyer.
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's take it from there. Is it that you studied law at school and you now be like, I really don't like it. Let me just put it here and just come on radio? Or how did the journey started?
Okay. Thankfully, I'm from a family where my parents believe do whatever you want to do. So far, you know that you can be self-sufficient with it. They are never forceful about this is what you must do. Because I remember that growing up, it has always been medicine for me. I want to be a doctor.
So what changed the plan?
When I was in GSS3, I almost said 300 level. When I was in GSS3, I traveled to Lagos for that long holiday. And I watched a TV program, Kakaki, on AIT. And they brought a lawyer guest. The way he was dressed, the way he spoke, his suits, his shoes, his pontification, everything was just on point. So when I got back, I just said, no, I don't think I want to do medicine again. Let me go for law. And my dad tried to do everything because as expected, he has been having his mind on medicine because I've been promising them I want to be a doctor. So he already had his mind fixed on medicine. So when I came back and I said, no, it's no longer medicine, it's law. He tried to persuade me, but he saw that this guy really understands what he wants. He knows what he wants. So he left me with it. One of the reasons he told me, what he gave me was that art class, it's either you are a lawyer or you are a broadcaster. Apart from that, there's nothing else in art class. You can be a doctor, you can be a this, you can be a that. I said, see, that law, go. It's the only thing
I want to do there.
And then I went to art class. Of course, like I said, class and Olodo.
Class and Olodo, that's how we have been tagged.
Teachers tried to discourage me. What are you doing in this class? No, this class. I said I want to study law. I said I was upper literature. And this is the only class where they offer literature in this school. So I have to be here. But one thing I realized is that after I give them my explanation, they all let me be. Because they just feel that most of us are just moving by what's it called now? Now we don't know what we really want. But when I'm able to convince them that this guy, hey, I know what I want, they allow me be. So, law was my idea. But then between secondary school and higher institution, I had to stay back for a year. I did JAMB the first year. JAMB did not really.
JAMB.
Not really. I really passed though.
Okay.
I think my first JAMB I had 229.
Wow.
UI offered me philosophy, but then I wanted law, so I could not. I did not take it. I had to write JAMB the second year before I scored 265, which now got me into the faculty. But within that space, I lost interest in law. And my secondary school is a very funny place because all the science students, they've moved to Unilorin. I was born and bred in Offa. So I attended Offa Grammar School, and there was a stiff competition there, academic competition. So science students, they believe that they are very brilliant. They have moved to Unilorin, those that want to study engineering, medicine. So for me to now say, I'm not studying law again. Why? Because it's not because of anything, it's not because you could not pass down. So because of that pride, I could not say I've lost interest in law. So I had to write JAMB the second time and prove a point that no be say I know people say. But then I entered, and thankfully I studied the law. But like I said, all through from 100 level to 500 level, I knew that I was not going to actively practice. But then along the line, I realized that I could actually practice. Maybe not litigation, which is what I'm doing now. I solicit. I don't do litigation. So many people believe litigation is legal practice. If you're not into litigation, you're not into legal practice. No, I solicit, I do corporate stuff, and then I'm still doing my radio. So I lost interest, like I said. All through my years in the university, I started stand-up comedy. I started as a stand-up comedian. I was into entertainment. So by 200 level, 300 level, I found myself on radio as a comedian though. Just featuring on radio programs as a guest comedian. But then I knew that I love radio and this is what I want to do. So I really gave it my time from that 2008 till date. Although there was a break along the line, I had to go to law school 2011 to 2013, 2014. And I came back, and that was when I now started radio fully. Since then, to the glory of God.
Thank God.
Yeah,
At all.
So you know the amazing thing is, while you were in Offa, you said you graduated from Offa Grammar School.
Yeah.
I happen to be one person that also lived some part of my life in Offa.
Wow. Interesting.
So I know that you are my brother.
Okay.
My brother. So your time of staying in Offa, how was it like? Because I want you to hype my place.
Nikini, yes, I
was born and bred in Offa from childhood till I left Offa 2005 to come and resume here in UI. And ever since then, I've moved to Ibadan. But my parents are still there up till now. Every year, I must show, at least once or twice, I must show face in Offa for family stuff. But then, growing up in Offa was fun because we have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
We have the best of both worlds. There's nothing like, I attended, my primary school is private, Adela Model School. And then after then, Offa Grammar School is a public school, but trust me, when we go for competitions, people from all those international schools, make it not be like pride. I got the award for the best WAEC result in the entire Offa local government.
Wow.
So when I'm talking about Offa local government now, you have schools like Adesoye College, you have all those international schools, but we still kick their behind.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because it's a school of brilliant people. So I'm proud to associate myself to.
Proud of our boy.
Yes,
Okay. Coming back from your educational background, like you studied law, went to school of law, practicing law now, and not the popular one. So that people really know you wearing wig and going to courts. So starting broadcasting, apart from you starting as a comedian on radio, do you have any background knowledge of radio itself?
Yes, I do. Informally though. Like I said, when I left secondary school, 2003, I stayed 2004. I gained admission 2005. Within those periods, I had no. Growing up in Ofa, we did not have that luxury of too many radio stations. It's either you listen to Radio Kwara or OSBC, Liawi Okebale.
Okay.
And of course, I favor OSBC because the signal is quite clear in my house. So I listen to radio back to back. So that's why I said I studied radio, but not formally. I did not have a lecturer. I did not have a teacher. I did not have anybody to tell me anything, but I studied through observation.
Okay.
At that point, if you wake me up and say, guy, 2 p.m. on Thursdays, what are they doing on OSBC? I will tell you the name of the program, the name of the presenter, and what the show is all about. I listened, all the Tola show, about Warrior, all of them. And that's one beautiful thing because we don't have the beauty of the luxury of choice, like I said. So not that if they are doing Yoruba program here, I tuned up.
Someone were playing music
or music, you just have to listen. So I listen to both Yoruba programs, English programs, and political programs, entertainment programs, listen to everything. And then I got to realize that these are the things they don't say on radio. These are the things they say on radio. I know that when they are doing this on radio, they stop it. Some of them, I don't know the reason why they are doing it, but I know that they are doing it. So I really have a very, very deep understanding of radio, although it is limited to one station. Okay. But then, thankfully, the station that I listen to is quite a very, let me say it's a good one. So I learned so many professional ways of doing things by just listening to OSBC. Iliawiye Okebale 104.5.
You really listen. That is Rima Jamin Shoni.
So your professional background as a broadcaster, when you really, I would love to learn or listen to that story of how you began as a professional broadcaster.
Okay.
So how did it start?
Okay, let me.
Wait. So the thing is, okay. So you are a graduate of law.
Yeah.
So you are starting as a professional broadcaster in a particular radio station.
Yeah.
Without any experience of a radio station before.
Yes, technically.
You were just a guest, as a guest commentator, or like a presenter. So how did you relate with these people when they were having the conversation with you how to start the broadcasting?
Okay. I think I have to tell the full story, but I'll just try to make it concise. 2008, like I said, 2008, yes, I got my first radio gig as a guest on Madhouse. Madhouse was 2 hours comedy program on Splash FM, 8 to 10 p.m. on Friday night. And the program was created for their IT students, corpers, because they have a lot of IT students. So we're like 20-something on that show. That's why it's called Madhouse. Wow. But then I was coming in as a comedian. I met another comedian, the Bishop. So we were asked to create our own segment. Everybody have their own different segments. We created our own segment called Laugh Line. Laugh Line was just 5 minutes. Then after first week, they increased it to 10 minutes. Myself, and then I invited some of my friends, Thompson Lawyer, Professor Apu, Lopecito. I invited them. Then we were many on that 10-minute segment. Okay. Then after a while, our segment was popping because it's a comedy show, and we are comedians. The other people are not comedians. So the director, let me say, producer of the show, Dakwa Kinsonya, Black D. So Black D said, there's a general segment. The last 30 minutes is to receive calls. Okay. Said, you guys, you comedians, should be the ones to man this last 30 minutes because you guys are naturally funny, blah, 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 blah. So we had like our own 10 minutes, then to anchor the... So we did that for like 3 months, going to 4 months, before we got to studio one day and the program has been stopped. Management decision, internal politics, and all. But then, after that, I still stayed with Black D. Black D had Home Run. Yes, Smooth Home Drive with Black D on Splash FM. So Black D brought me in and then he gave me a segment called Laugh and Roll with Afuda. So it's just a segment from inside his own drive time show. But then I couldn't keep up with the pace because, yes, I was a comedian. Black D would just say, guy, come, just on mic, say, you have 10 minutes. So I go crack joke. And it's every day. Crack joke today, crack joke tomorrow. Now me run for myself. After a while. You are not seeing the cracking joke on radio is very difficult. Besides, how many, we call it birthday, how many jokes I get? After I do it for like, after a while, I started going maybe once in a week, twice in a week. But then I exhausted all that I had in my arsenal. I had to run away. And unfortunately, when I ran away, I was not missed. We feel that when you run away from something like that they will call you. You don't come like this, no call, nothing. Me too, I just continue my life until they now started UI Radio.
Okay.
UI Radio Diamond FM was for UI students. So when I had that, I put in as one of the volunteers. Okay. And then when I went, after volunteering for a long time, they asked us to come for audition. And one of the things that really helped me was that our director then, Dr. Luisa Bassi Anda, she had listened to me once or twice on Madhouse. Oh. So when she asked me to tell her about my background, I mentioned that. Said, oh, you are part of those. So that gave me a upper hand. And then after the audition, she gave me a 30-minute weekly comedy show, Stress Buster. Wednesdays, 5:30 to 6. Yes. And I did that from 2009 to 2011 when I had to leave for law school. So when I came back from law school, I had my service here. That was when we were starting Space FM. Okay. So I still but thankfully, I was able to make some kind of names for myself with Stress Buster. Okay. With Stress Buster. And of course, I still performed in my church. I get invited as a comedian. So I've been going to Star FM and MITV Precise, to go and feature on their Friday shows. They created a 5-minute comedy segment for me. So when they were starting Space FM, one of the presenters at MITV was the one resuming as the head of programs at Space FM. So thankfully, I did not know. I just sent in my proposal. In fact, I sent it through Dispatch Rider. So they called me to come and submit in person. When I took the proposal there in person, I just said, Auntie Tolu, you are here. Say, how do you know about this place? I said, I don't know. It's a friend that told me that the station is coming up. Let me see your proposal. That was how my proposal went in. And they now approved, not 30 minutes now. They approved 2 hours for
the comedy show
for Stress Buster. But then we now changed the name to Stress Boa.
Okay.
Because they asked me to go
Of jokes.
No, not actually. Stress Buster is not just jokes. What I was able to do with Stress Buster is that we had 2 segments. One segment is a discussion segment where I bring in stand-up comedians, and then we just pick up any story and want to discuss it. Okay. So I use that to really, really, really secure my grip on the stand-up comedy industry, because almost all the comedians in town then, I brought them on my show as my weekly guest. Even the ones outside IBADAN, we would go and record, and I did that. Then I had this Professor Lakatabu Ogbukumusu, a 5-minute motivational segment. So she knew the program, so she knew that, okay, you guys could do it. So when I came on Space, I started bringing in comedians again. For that, but then at a point, I told them 2 hours too long. Let me cut and short. So now let me cut it to 1 hour. So that 1 hour, I still do Professor Tabu, and then I do my normal interview with other comedians. So it was at that space they now needed a pidgin presenter who were to start newspaper review, and Space FM was trying to do something very unique. They did English, Yoruba, pidgin. The 3 of them together. For the newspaper review. So I just entered the studio that day, and told that's our head of program. I said, "Oh, you call the PG now." Before then, I've started the People's Network. The People's Network is a blog, a pidgin blog, where I blog in pidgin.
Your personal blog.
My personal blog, the People's Network.blogspot.com. So I have started that. So that was what she saw. I said, "Oh, you call the PG. You man copy you call the now. You try." Okay, take this script, go and translate. So I translated, said, go inside the studio, record it. I did it. They called the head of programs, Babadada Ogundele of blessed memory. He listened briefly, said, this guy is good. Let him start tomorrow. So the following day, in fact, that night I had a show in UCH. I had to leave the show by 4:30 a.m. because the program is going for 7 a.m. And I have to get to the studio, get the papers to translate. So I had to do all that. And then I was translating. The following day, I did it. Wow, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. That was how I started with newspaper review in pidgin. So we did that. After doing that, then we had two teams. Myself and the Ogas. Mr. Olasumadia Akon will take the Yoruba. Titolu will take English. I will take pidgin. And then there was a Kojumo 5 a.m. program with Omoya Shina and Tunde Adedokun. Then after a while, just feel like, let's alternate this thing so that this thing can be this, that. So they created another team. They said, okay, Tunde Adedokun and Afuda will be on the Kojumo on Monday. The law Shehu Gunde, Jidokun, and Omoyashina will be there on Tuesday. So if you do Ekojuma on Monday, you will do newspaper review on Monday. On Tuesday, you do newspaper review, you do Ekojuma. That was how I started Ekojuma too. And Ekojuma is just, they will give us all they do the research, give us and that's more like a political program. So that was my first experience into newspaper review, political program. Then after a while, you are a lawyer now? I said, yes. We want to create a law program, Sabi Una Right. You should be able to handle it. I said, why not? They gave me Sabi Una Right. Man, this your Stress Buster program is doing well. Can we have a midweek edition? Yes, we can have it. So create a Crazy Institute of Comedy. Okay. So I tried to replicate Madhouse by doing Crazy Institute of Comedy. So I brought a lot of people. I brought Olympia, that is Ogadireba, is a skit producer. The Modes was one of my crew member, ATM, Chris the lecturer, comedians that I know around Favor K, brought all of us together, FABD. So we started Crazy Institute of Comedy. And thankfully, that was on Wednesday. That one too was doing well. I said, this one too is trying. Can we have a weekend? Can we have a Saturday night edition? Okay. So we created Shut Down. We just they were just the show was just piling up. We're just piling up. Until one day the chairman came and said, I have an idea. Can we do something? It's a soft sell story. Like all these that time City People magazine and all those magazines. So just pick stories from there and then you present it. And thankfully for me, that was the time that there's this rape allegation for Obesere. The very first edition that I would take, there was a rape allegation against Obesere. So I took the story and they just told me, free yourself, read it and make it funny. Because they keep harping on the fact that you are a comedian, so make it funny. So I tried to do everything to make it funny, read the story. And thankfully the chairman listened. I said, who was that guy? Man, I enjoyed the program. That program was this, You know what? Continue that story tomorrow. The program was meant to be a week, but the chairman said, continue that story tomorrow. So I did Tori. I did it the first day, second day, third day. And when it was Friday, hoping that we would stop, the chairman said, no, don't stop, continue. So we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yay. That was how I started Tori, 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And thankfully, Tori was my 7th program. And that became my biggest program. So I always tell my students at the academy, say, see, blessed are you when you are usable. When people think that they can use you, just accept it as far as you can manage.
Blessed are you
when you are usable. You don't know which one. Because I didn't been after the fourth or the fifth program. I tell them that I know they do again. No, I wouldn't have gotten to Tori. And up till now, after I left Space FM, I've gone to Lagelu, I'm out at 32 FM. Everything that I'm doing still revolves that idea of that Tori, which is the pidgin, trendy program, which is what my brand is known for today. And that is how I started. So I eased myself into the broadcasting career. Not that I have something in mind or that I had it planned out. I was just a comedian and I want to talk on radio. And then try this, add this. And then it became something else. And then, at the end of the day, I just realized that I said, guy, can you just sit down with this thing? I'll be like, say, this one go pure past. And I've just been doing it since then. So since that 2014, at Space FM, from Space FM to Lagelu, from Lagelu to 32 FM. And now we are here to date.
All to the glory of God.
So, you are more, so a lot of people will not know that you're actually a graduate of law. A lot of people have related with, a lot of people have interacted with about you, know you as a senior figure in broadcasting in Ibadan, because you are quite popular in Ibadan. So when you mention her for that, you're like, Agba.
God on radio.
So with all this experience, you've carved for yourself some important niche, and a lot of people will definitely look up to you, and you have become more professional than even people who studied mass communication or learned how to be a broadcaster. You've become more professional than them because of the length of experience you gained over the years. So, now, becoming a professional broadcaster now, you chose to, let me multiply my idea and start something else. So you created an award.
Okay.
An award show. And now, this award show, I want you to tell us something about it, because we really is it what gave back to the award first?
It's a long story, but I will tell you the story. See, I'm a very open person. I love to help people along the line. And one of the things I've loved to do about everything that I've done in my life is to demystify what I'm doing. I'm not that kind of person that will say, Ishe, I don't like that idea. Only what then say? Let's simplify it for us. So one thing I've learned is that over the years, so when people come up to me and say, bros, Alpha, as a comedian, like I said, when I go out for shows and they know that you're on radio, a lot of people come to me, say, are we to want to be on radio? I say, can you easy? Rather, it's not difficult, opportunity. And once you position yourself, so I give them advice. I gave it to first person, second person, and it worked for them. And every time they see me say, bros, thank you, if not for that, your advice, your advice. You know, in fact, there was a particular person we just talked on phone. I said, see, look for any radio station, go and start something there. I just advised the person. So it was several years later, it was the person that introduced himself to me. I talked to you on phone, you know that I went to so FM, and that was how I started my career. I said, wow, interesting.
Amazing.
So after a while, people kept coming. Some people are not made for radio. When I listened to that, I said, guy, can you try something else? Don't forget that I told you that I've tried my hands on blogging. I was doing blogging too. So I know a little about blogging. I know a little about presentation. That's broadcasting. So when people come to me, so at some point, I feel like, okay, how can I help more people? How can I make this thing? So the first thing I started with was Media Basics Academy. Media Basics Academy is just to teach people all the basics of what I think is media. Print, and we have people that are one of our students at that print class that is now doing that full time. If you go to Ogun State, ask for Ijeburewa. He was one of our students back then. We have people that are flying drones. We did TV, we did radio, we did blogging, we did a lot of things that.
So that's not like an institution.
Yes. So Media Basics is just to cover everything, every aspect. So, and that is just for a month. So after we teach you small thing on blogging, on radio, on TV, on newspaper, on everything, we expect you now to make an informed decision that I think this is what I can do, this is what I should do. But we just realized that 70% of them, after that, all of them come back to say, it's radio that I want to do. And when they come back like that, we only refer them to FRCN training school in Lagos because there was no academy in Ibadan. I started Media Basics, but I never thought an individual could start a media school. I thought it has to be federal government, blah, 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 blah. Then one of my ogas, one of the people that I understudied when I was at Diamond FM, Fola,
Okay.
Black, the favored woman, now very popular on X. She now started BRMC in Lagos. So when I saw that, black in one person now. She don't be federal government too. She don't start her own. Me too, I can start this thing in Ibadan. And that was how we evolved from Media Basics Academy to Primus Media Academy.
Okay.
And then we started training people on radio presentation. And when we trained them, we pushed them to radio stations, online stations. And thankfully, it was working. People were getting absorbed. We were getting our students getting. But then after that, we realized that we need to encourage them. We need to motivate them. And we know the way the media industry is structured. I'm someone that really, 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 really look forward to me getting an award. Love to get an award. But I've never gotten one.
Since.
Yes.
Like
I got some, but not professional awards. Of course, the NSCDC has awarded me as because I was having a program that has to do with them back then. But it's not a media program. A media award. So, and there was a time I was nominated for an award. I could not follow it through because of certain things that surrounded the award. There's a difference between popularity contests.
Yes.
There's a difference between you guys are be waiting they do. So, I don't get money. And I find it difficult to go and beg people, say, please, give me. So, that award, I didn't win it. But I had it in mind that one day, if I have what it takes, I will correct this anomaly. I want to do this thing differently. So, at some point, I now realized that media award, the way it is structured, young ones can never win an award. How do I mean? You can imagine them putting someone that is just starting out on newspaper, news reading in Yoruba, and they're not putting the person with people like Baba Abolade Salami. How we want to win the award? How they want to share and reach out? It's not possible. I realize that most of these big ones, you want radiocaster, best newscaster in English. In your category, you are seeing Ronke Giwa or Nofua. How you want to win now? So I realized that, see, these young ones stand no chance, but we still need to encourage them. That's why I said, okay, let's start Primus Media Awards strictly for young broadcasters between age 21 to 30. Once you are above 30, we know they do. You know, you are above.
So how do you verify their age? How do you know this is the age?
It's very simple now. We have government-issued ID cards. You have your PVC, you have your
Birth certificate.
NIN and everything. And yes, we have birth certificates. And if you don't have any, go and swear to an affidavit. Yes, and people have submitted their affidavit. And people don't know that, of course, if you lie under oath, that's perjury. It is actionable. You can be sent to prison for that. So if anybody now feels that to win an award is much more important than the person wants to go and lie under oath, I think it's
I will not even want to lie to a lawyer.
we ask everybody to send in, fill the form, send in your government, your issued ID where you have your date of birth, and once you realize that you are qualified there, if anybody now I think the first year, second year, some people came out to dispute some people's age. Say, that bros, where they look, that bros, no fit be under 30. See the way he said, give us. If you think that he has lied, take it up. We will back you up. Let's take him to. But then you don't want to do it. You ask us to. We cannot do that. He has given us. The legal principle is he who asserts must prove. You are the one that is asserting that this guy is older. Bring your proof that he's older. He has proved to us that he's not older than 30. You that you feel is older, bring your. If you can, as long as you cannot provide any proof that is older, or you cannot challenge this one in the court of law, we are duty bound to obey him. So that was how we started those ones that year. So we started the award since 2021. We had the first edition, second edition, third edition. By God's grace, we are preparing for the fourth edition this year. And it's been wonderful. The first year, we said, let's not bite more than we can chew. Let's focus on Ibadan. And we tried it out in Ibadan, and it was hugely successful. Then the following year, we said, okay, let's do Oyo State. Then we have a blog, mind you, and our blog transcends Oyo State. So when we posted pictures, people from outside Ibadan, from outside Oyo State, like, why is it only Oyo? Why is it only Oyo? So, okay, we have dreams, but let's start one step at a time. So from Ibadan, we moved it to not even Oyo, entire Southwest.
Wow.
So first edition was Ibadan, which was our guinea pig for us to try it out. And we did it to realize that this is successful. We moved now to Southwest. So we did Southwest 2022, Southwest 2023, and we are doing Southwest again 2024. So don't be surprised if next year or upper year, we are doing national. It is possible. It is the dream, and it will happen. Okay. We are still trying it out. We want to perfect it. Because one thing I tell people is, we are not doing a one-time thing. There's a Yoruba adage. We don't want to deceive anybody. And we want this thing to surpass us. We want this thing to endure forever. So we realize that the foundation must be solid. So that's why we are not in a hurry. Let's keep trying things out. There are certain things we tried. The first year, we had some categories that are voted categories because we needed money. So we had categories that are, from the onset, our award is decided by a jury. We have our senior colleagues explain to them, say, sir, our money no new. We just want them to know that we see them, we acknowledge them that they are doing so well. So whenever they submit their entries, we bring it to you, the bosses. We just coordinate the award. We don't decide who wins. They submit their entries, we have our jury, we give it to them, say, Omele Ogba 45 B, Ele Ogba 15 B. So we have 3 jury per category. So if you are saying this person, maybe because you know him, iPhone 90, but this person does not know him, Ele Ogba you die from 40, Ele iPhone 50. By the time we put the 3 together, we come up with a figure. So all of us cannot sleep and correct because they said the person is really good. So it is possible for someone to be second on all or the judges list, and the person come out on top as the winner. Because if I score 70 here, that is 210. Yes. But if I score 90 with you and I score 40 here, it does not. So the person may be first on somebody and still best, but we keep our records. I'll keep telling anybody that if you feel there's anything, please challenge us. We'll bring it out. So after that, and that first year it was paid for. We have like 5 categories that are voting categories. We call it listener's choice. And that one is based on how popular the person is. And you agree with me, there's no best way to determine how popular a person is than to vote.
Yes.
But we attached money to it. The second year, I think, yes, there was still monetary things. Then, at that second year, there were some technical glitches from the back end of the voting end and everything. And then it was a lot of things for us to harmonize it, for us to make sure that we rectify it. We eventually rectified it. But by the time we rectify it, most people that noticed the discrepancies from the onset, most of them were not convinced that we're able to rectify it. And they started raising this thing. And that one, I think I issued a statement that time. See, God sees our intention. And we did all that we could. And we still try to ensure that nobody won that is not, it may not be the right figure, but everybody got what they deserve. That was what we were able to do. So last year, we just sat down and said, see, this voting category, thank God, God has been helping us. People will not support you until they see what you're about to do. So the first year, we couldn't get much support. So that was why we needed money. The second year at the same time. But last year, we realized that we have grown. Let's talk to people who believe in what they are doing to support us financially, rather than scatter or corrupt our integrity, because people will not believe, I want someone. So from last year, we said there will still be listeners' choice, that people will still vote, but no more payments. Every award now at Primus is jury determined. The few ones that are listeners' choice, you will vote, but you are not paying a kobo. So if you are not paying, you cannot say I do Ojoro. But when if people pay ₦1, they will say, I want to go lower. And the truth of the matter is, this thing, like I said, some people, for someone like me, when I was nominated for that particular award I was nominated for that year, I couldn't go and be begging people. Some people went all out to be begging people to vote for them, and they got the vote and they won the award. Me, I cannot do it. So the same thing when we were doing monetary voting. Some people were really, really interested. They really wanted to win the award, and they invested hugely. They used their money to talk to people to vote for them, and they won the award. But those that could not say, I want an award, I said, okay, am I worrying? So that should be so from last year, we said no more monetary voting.
Okay.
Vote, one man, one vote. Vote for your choice for this category, and let the jury decide the rest. So with that, I believe nobody anywhere can say, Primus award.
One bio. Okay, I'll be coming from that jury angle too. If you are selecting jury to decide on, people that you have nominated for a particular award. Okay, for instance, someone who works for Fresh FM, someone who works for Splash FM, someone who works for Agidigbo FM. These 3 stations I've mentioned, we have professionals there that we can use as our jury. Now, you are nominating a young broadcaster from Agidigbo, from Fresh, from Splash. Is it that while sharing the names of the nominees to your jury, are you always careful of not giving a particular nominee that is from one of these particular stations to a jury from that same station? Because it will be like being favorable for Sure, you understand? So are you also trying to be careful about that?
Thank you so much. We had that in mind. We tried to be careful, and we did very careful, but we cannot rule it out. Look at, one thing I've always done in my life is I use a bigger stuff to determine. Look at Grammy, look at Ballon d'Or. When it comes to best player in the world, all the coaches vote, including the coach of the person. He will also vote. You cannot say because it's your what's it called now? Because it's your player, you are not entitled to disenfranchise you. No. This is what we do. Presently now, we've selected our jury before we even call for nomination. And once we select our jury, we already approach. The juries don't even know yet, but we already have our own this thing. Okay, this particular person is a jury. We are giving the person 3 categories to determine, and then we already say, and of course we use the area of expertise. I cannot call Ronke Giwa and give our best, Yoruba newscaster. No. So for someone like Yoruba, it's okay. Let's give her best newscaster in English. Let's give her most eloquent presenter. Let's give her maybe best use of social media. People that we see that these are their kind of thing. So we already determined before even calling for nominations. So we already share this thing among the jury. So if at the end of the day, we now realize that somebody from their station now falls in that category, we will not tamper with it.
Okay.
But we have made it clear to the people that we have selected as our jury. See, please, whatever you are doing it not just for us, you are doing it for the industry. If you think you can do Ojoro that because of your, what's it called, your colleague is there from your office, you are not helping the person and you are not helping, and posterity will judge all of us. So do the best. And we think, sincerely speaking, I'm shocked. I've seen someone whose protege fall underneath a category as one of the judges, and she I think she got the lowest from her mentor. She got the lowest from her mentor because she told me, say, how did this person make this list of nominations? I said, see, this is one thing about nominations. Some groups, some categories are not competitive.
Okay.
For example, there are some categories that we keep scrapping. Why? Because we don't have maybe just one person submitting entry for that category, or just two people. If you have three, we will leave it. But if it's just two or one, we will scrap it. And we have some categories that we have like 18 people. Our entertainment, all those ones, you have like 18 people competing for. So we have to streamline to 5. Because one thing I also believe is that any award where the nominees are more than 5 and you are seeing 10, 20 nominees, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is not an award. If you check most of those awards like that, there is usually monetary voting. So they want everybody to
make money.
check. Like I said, I use Grammy. I use all those big awards as our own template. You can never see more than 5 or 4 nominees per category in Grammy. They must have shortlisted to that. Even Ballon d'Or, they will first long list like 80, then shortlist to like then final 3 before the final day. Anything that is more than 5, as far as I'm concerned, is crowded. It's not. So we make sure that we don't exceed. But like I said, if you check our list of nominees, you see some categories 3 people. Trust me, maybe those are the 3 people that submitted entry for that particular category. But with that 18 people, you just have to find a way to cut them down. So if your own recording is low or your own recording is scratchy, is not whatever, when you have 18 people, just be removing it until you have the best 5. But Kwanikwe is one of those 3 people in the category. Even when your recording is low, we may be tempted to still use it like that because it's not well competitive. It's not very competitive. So we have it like that. And like I said, our juries ensure that they do due diligence. And like I said the other time, if I think because we work together, you are your entry does not worth more than 40, and because we work together, I now give you 50. We have 3 people judging a category. Other people will listen to.
Yes.
But if the person is now so influential that no matter how bad she is, all of us now rate her high so that the person now wins the award, then that means the person is doing something right. Then maybe she truly deserves it. Because I don't believe that if I want to drop the ball as a jury, I don't think he will want to drop the ball. I don't think she will want to drop the ball. And we are not determined based on one person's what's it called, submission. We'll put the 3 together. So if I score her 90 and you think, you do 40, you score her 40, you score her 30, at the end of the day, she cannot win. But to buy the good averagely, so there's so Jerome, me or mama but jam phone 60, me or mama but jam phone 60, me or mama but phone 60. Then God if any 90 down, don't phone 30. At the end of the day, the person that is averagely good will still win. So that is how we iron that out. So it's like checks and balances. We cannot rule that out, but we put other people. It's not possible even if you check our jury, you cannot see 2 people from the same organization judging the same category. No. 2 people from the same organization cannot judge the same category. We spread them all out.
Thank you for all you do for the media.
I want to ask this question. So, let me say it in Yoruba. Let me present it very well in Yoruba. So, now, Primus Media, when you man the media in IBADAN.
What's up there?
Àwọn information àwọn new transfer.
Àwọn transfer lóríṣiríṣi ọ̀dọ̀ yìí ló máa ń kọ́kọ́ ń dé sí.
So all this any spy in each radio station. Like báwo lẹ ṣe ṣe, like how do you get all this information? Somebody is moving, like there was a particular presenter that moved from a station to another station. Like the person has not even announced it.
Was
Like,
just
Primus
sweet.
TV. So when they are looking for information of who
Olófòfò rédíò, olófòfò mídíà Ìbàdàn.
Àwọn tún media ṣe. Wọ́n rò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Now, people will say Andaru when they are on the receiving end. But when they are on the other hand, when they are receiving the hype, àwọn tó ń jẹ́ ká mọ media ni àwọn Primus mọ dáadáa ni wọ́n. They are very good. But they don't know that àtòrìláyé tó bá lò síwájú, tó bá pè yín lénìí,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni,
kò ní pè yín lọ́la.
lọ́la,
So sometimes
bẹ́ẹ̀
it's
ni.
very disappointing that people who have benefited and have given you thumbs up, maybe once in a while, Koboko just touch them. They just say, you are doing that. I have like 3 CEOs now, radio stations, who we have a very cordial relationship before, that they don't even want to see me.
Wow.
And they have praised us before. I was still somewhere last week, someone told me of a particular radio CEO that they had a meeting and the person was cursing me. I swear. Person was cursing me. Radio A is accusing us that you are working for Radio B. Radio B is saying you are working for Radio A. At the end of the day, both of them are cursing you. At the A and the B. But one thing I've always said is this. I serve a living God. And posterity, I still posted that thing last week when I had that story, because the thing pained me, because someone that I respected a lot. I said posterity will judge me. And if I have ever set out to use my platform to defame or to bring anybody or any brand down, posterity should not be kind to me. Because this is very funny. You are not paying for this thing. I just realized that this is a lacuna. One thing I believe is this. Everybody wants fame.
Yes.
Whether we are really or not. Especially you are in media. You want people to know about what you are doing.
Yeah.
And once we post people, we don't know the effect it has. We that are even posting, we don't even know it. Until people start saying, because, and of course, if you see many people in Ibadan today, many presenters in Ibadan, if you Google their name, if they are featured on Primus, it is very possible that the first list, you see their name come out on Primus. So many people understand the value, and they want us to post. And we tell everybody, see, we report the reporters. We are not witches and wizards. There's no way we know what is happening until someone tells us. We are not everywhere. Most times, somebody will send me say that I have dropped my resignation letter. I have not posted it. I want you people to be the ones to break the news.
Wow.
The person, I want you to be the one to break the news. So they will give us that exclusive. And we work with their time. When do you want us to do it? They will tell, please let me post it now. Please let me post it now. And we have never, about how many years now, going to 6 years of existence now, we have never for once charged anybody, whether upcoming or blown, that you are moving from one station to another, pay us so amount. It has never happened. It has never happened. We collect money. But how do we collect money? We have our PR package. If you are moving from one radio station to another, that is news. But if you are saying they're just giving me a new program, I want to start a new program, and I want you to write about it, that is promo.
Yes.
You pay for that.
Yes.
If you say our station is doing something like, in fact, we don't collect money from radio stations. We have PR package for radio stations that is paid for. So we can write an article about you to hype you. That is promotion.
Yes.
But if something is happening in your station is 2, your station is 4, your station is 5, your station just signed somebody new, that is news. We don't charge any station for that. Okay. And many people just come up to us, they, guy, please, in fact, picture of the day. Some people come and say, please, can you use my picture for picture of the day? Because when you use their picture, many people say, I like to hear this guy. This guy, so now which station he did now? I've been listening to him from listening. They will say a lot of things about them. At least their name will trend. People will remember them, and they are happy about it. And that is our joy. Our mission at Primus, we protect the integrity of the media, we project its beauty, and we promote its interest. Anything that aligns with these 3 is what we do, and we don't see. We've started Primus Media Blog since 2020, maybe 2020 or thereabouts, or 2019 or 2020. We started Primus Media Blog. I can tell you for a fact that as of today, all the money we've ever made from Primus Media Blog till now, I'm not sure it's up to 100,000. I'm not sure it's up to 100,000 for the past 5 years. Primus Media Blog, the reason why we think of this thing is we have an academy. We are training our students. We want them to be positioned in different radio stations. We need to keep a relationship with these stations. We need to give them visibility. This is what we have. Let's work together. because of our trainees. We want them to. What's the beauty of training a student and the person does not get job? And then you now call your student tomorrow, say, Alpha, where do you work now? And now say, I'm back in the corporate world. I've left media when I couldn't get a job. It's sad for us as an organization. So our blog is just one of our way of bringing the industry together, trying to. It is not a money making. We have a PR package. That PR package, I think, maybe one station has ever subscribed. Other people will say, we'll subscribe. Some of them, they will think that if they don't deceive us that they want to subscribe, we will not take their story. Some people will say, no, we have this story, we want you to help us break. Send us that your PR package proposal. Whether you do or you don't do, we'll publish your story. But the problem now that I have is that when the story favors you, you want us to post. But when the story does not favor you, you now tell us not to post. You cannot censor me. You are not paying me. I'm not working for you. You cannot censor me. Because there is, for every story, there's always somebody at the receiving end. So it's quite painful when people benefit from something today and tomorrow they are not benefiting from it and they are trying to discredit it. It's quite painful because, like I said, whether some people can be very rude. I will not deceive you. There are some people that I will not post their story because of the way. I will remember we were at a particular station and somebody said, ni post our blue lola, blue lola, post I don't say anything. Following week, now sent me story. I will not post it. Blow first. So you say that's why I'm not blow. I don't owe you anything. You are not paying me anything. And sometimes this thing can be, we have other things we are doing. Like I said, this thing is not even bringing us money. We have other things. We have the academy. We have our magazine that we publish. We have our online radio. We have a lot. We have our word and everything. But you guys don't understand. You want to send story now and have it posted in the next 5 minutes as if that is what we do. There's good. So you now post. Maybe sometimes we just see some stories. Feel like this story is not good enough. Sometimes some stories we discredit and tarnish somebody else's image, and just be like, no. I had a very particular experience like that. One of our very senior guy in the industry. You called to tell us this is what is happening. This is what is happening, and what wisdom dictates is that we balance the story.
Yes.
We call the other party. We call the other party, and the other party punched holes in your submission, and we published everything. You published everything you told us. Published everything the other party said. You said, why will you go and talk to the other party? Why will you publish? Because eventually when the story came out, I think what the other party said is quite more weighty than what you said. So everybody was now heaping the blame on him. And the funny thing was that when the story came out, he shared it on his platform. Of course, before you share a story, that means you agreed with what he said, was said. But when the backlash was much, he now deleted it. And now came back to us that we should also delete it. I won't delete in Primus.
Sorry.
We don't delete. So, I said the only thing we can do is a rejoinder. And that's what I've always explained to all of them. It's a very simple thing. We have published a story. You think the story is not good enough? Tell us your own side of the story. Let's publish it too. We are not asking you. In fact, in the law of rules of broadcasting, NBC code, it's called right of reply. When you think you have been maligned by any police, talk to us. You have the right of reply. We will publish it for you too. We'll say, no, that one that you have already published, go and pull it down. Who does that? So that other people will now say, see now. Like I said, I have a particular radio CEO now that does not pick my call, does not greet me, in fact, does not want to hear anything about me. It's not the one that was cursing me, the other one that was cursing me. This one does not pick my call, does not want to see me, does not want to do it, because there is a story and they asked me to pull it down. And I said, sir, this story cannot be pulled. It's against our policy. Please, do a rejoinder. Let's publish for you, sir. And you said you are not ready to talk. So, am I supposed to come out? I'm not your spokesperson. Am I supposed to come out and say what is on your mind for you? No. People, that will send a very wrong signal. That will cast shadow and aspersion on our own integrity and our own brand. It's a very simple rule of reporting.
You know, some of these CEOs don't want to feel weak. They don't want people to feel they are weak.
And sometimes it's not weakness. Sincerely speaking, how will a station feel that somebody resigning from my organization is a dent on my image? And so somebody has resigned from your organization and we have posted it that this person has resigned. And I said that
posting that person has resigned or that person has left the organization is an indictment. So we should pull the story down.
Okay, what if in the other hand they are the one that sacked the employer and so it favors them like that.
So they won't reach out to you.
No station has ever reached out that this person that we sacked, we don't want it to be posted. No station has ever done that.
Do you post people that are sacked from radio stations?
If we get to know, there was a time there was an issue at BCOS of mass stuff like that. We posted it, and we even reached out to them. And BCOS, the chairman of BCOS, I've forgotten this mommy's name. I think she's the present chairman. She gave her own account, and we posted it. And the people that gave us the story said, you don't know about post it's not done that way. It's not done that way.
For that radio competition in Ibadan is kind of going on
It's too strong.
as in this side of not healthy at all.
It is too toxic.
In fact, there are some of these radio proprietors in Ibadan that if you have a kind of relationship with another presenter in other, not even CEO, just another presenter in another radio station, they see you like, Ombota Amise. Why?
You are a traitor, a spy. They will call you so many names. It's quite unfortunate that's where we find ourselves. And this thing is not supposed to be that difficult. But one of my guys gave me an analogy, and I think that is the problem we are having. Okay. There's lack of creativity. Everybody is doing the same thing. That's why we feel that we cannot work together. For example, if Victor here has his Victor FM and he deals with young guys, you have your own FM and you deal with Muslims, the name of your program. And me, I'm dealing with street guys. There's no reason why we cannot collaborate. Yes. We want to have a program where we want to have everybody. You bring your young guys, you bring the ladies, let me bring the people from the streets. There's another thing that deals with elderly people. You bring them, you deal with children. Let's all come together because we believe that we have different audience. Yes. But in Ibadan, I'm talking to the man in only me. I want to talk to the person in the office, to the market woman, to the children. I want to talk to everybody. Everybody's my target. So you too, everybody's your target. So my fear is that if we do together, if they see us together, there will be conflict. Erowa ma dapo. Exactly. But for example, now if let me use a Lagos station, Brilla FM, they deal with sports. Just sports. There's now Kids FM. Don't be surprised that tomorrow you can see them have a collaboration because people that are doing sports, they have children, and if there is an event, Kids FM want to have their children, so they can collaborate. There is no way their audience can mix up. But in Ibadan, because everybody is doing the same thing. So that is why everybody exactly the same market. You are trying to appease the same people. You are trying to appeal to them. So at the end of the day, we don't want any. We try to correct some of those things. We started Primus Media Nights where we pull everybody together. It was beautiful. It is still beautiful when we just realize that our whatever has moved from there, our focus has shifted from that one to some other things now. But we can still go back there some other day. Let's come together. Let's fellowship together. And what really gave out to that media night was I attended an event and I saw like 7 people coming into that station, into that event. And people were like, those are guys from, I think it was Inspiration FM. They were mentioning the name of the station. And I looked at them. I don't know any of them. In fact, radio, I'm talking of 2020. Radio is not that much that time. But even as little as we were that time, we don't even know your colleagues. Yes. So let's have an avenue where everybody can relax, get to meet each other people. But then realize that when people see you with your colleagues from other places, what's in my sorrow? Secret Nobody know that you are making billions. Secrets Coca-Cola has a trade secret that they cannot. It is understandable because this is radio. The same thing. Legend says, "So, kini secret is that being said." To add this
newspaper review in Yorùbá tó bá di between 7 to 10 ẹ máa ṣe newspaper review in Yorùbá ẹ máa ṣe sport tó adago méjìlá ẹ máa tó kí wá ní secret tí àwa ń ṣe àti ó wá pamọ́. It's just funny, and of course sometimes it feeds off on the bitterness from the head. The orgas. I think it's high time that they have their own body, but I'm not sure they comply with the body of orgas. If they can get it right at that end, every other thing will follow. But they are not getting it right. The orgas are not getting it right. Everybody's just like they can't. Everybody have,
and it has to do with the issue of ego.
God bless you. Everybody have a very, I don't want to, let me say bloated ego. You feel that, how can I be dealing with these people?
Okay,
how can I be okay? Money misroad me. From that we tell you, we want from one in front, you call low, we below the rowo. And these things does not matter. Anybody can become a media boss tomorrow. One in front in you, on low, on CEO. As long as the CEO, there is nothing. But there's nothing we are fighting for. I'm not sure that many radio stations in Ibadan, they are making money the way they do in Lagos. Stations that are in number 5 in Lagos, they are making money because they have a clear-cut audience. They focus on their audience and they are serving their audience. But this all mentality of all of us doing the same thing is really not helping us. Up till now, there are some areas that are not tapped in Ibadan, in radio in Ibadan, and we are like almost 50. And there are still some areas that are not tapped. Everybody's just doing the same thing. And the truth of the matter is there's no station that will come out now, do the same, do everything that will succeed. It's not possible. And also they say, and early comers, that they have done it, when they did jello, and when you're not only say any new station that is coming, and you don't have a niche to say this is what I'm facing and face it squarely.
New ideas.
Say you want to do one say whatever say.
Oh, my man.
My last question is, aside from 32 FM,
Yeah.
I want you to give us your top 3 radio stations in Ibadan. Aside from 32 FM.
We know.
Aside from 32 FM, the top most listened to, the best that you feel these 3 radio stations are the top 3.
Let me rephrase what you have said. I will give my personal top 3, not based on how well they are, based on my own opinion, not because of how well they are listened to, not because I have the benefit of seeing data. So people may think I must listen to according to data, So for me, if I want to pick my top 3 stations in Ibadan, let me say stations that I listen to. If you check inside my car now, number 1 is Bluetooth. Number 2 is what's it called? Number 2 is my station, 32 FM. Number 2. Number 3 is Blast FM. Number 4. I'm using my car Bluetooth now. Number 3, 1 Bluetooth, 2 32 FM. You say I should not use 32.
Your number 1 is Bluetooth.
It's my Bluetooth. I play music. I'm a music person. I listen to music. I don't joke with music. So music is my preference. No. I'm coming.
No, he's still coming from his radio. So, I mean, his car radio now.
I have 6 channels on my car radio, right? Number 1 is Bluetooth. Minus. 32 is number 2.
Minus, yes.
Number 3 on my radio station, on my radio Bluetooth right now is Blast FM.
So we are taking that for number 1.
Okay. Behind it is Splash FM.
That's number 2.
And on number 5 is Correct FM.
Number 3. Thank you. We really enjoyed, but I would love to, capture it with this last question. Okay. And it's all about Primus too. Jẹ́ kí n lò ní Yorùbá pé kò sẹ́ni tó gbégbá kalẹ̀ tí ò fẹ́ jèrè lórí ẹ̀. Bí ẹ ṣe ń gbìyànjú láti sọ pé ká ṣe kóríyá, encourage the young ones in the media industry. There should be something coming back to your pockets that will serve as an encouragement to you too, that wants to encourage the younger ones in the media space. Okay, àwọn media owners tá tẹ̀ sọ pé wọ́n ti ẹ̀wùlẹ̀ mọ́ kókó bó ṣe ń ṣe wọ́n gan-an nísìn. Are they even in a way or two supporting Primus Awards?
God bless you for that question.
eternity.
Amen.
See, we need money.
This bros me laugh.
We need money.
Because I think I saw one of your status recently that said, "Ojú èèyàn máa ń rí tó téèyàn bá ní event o."
Now, I will be very, very clear, and I'll open, and I will mention names here. I will mention names here. The very first edition of Primus Media Awards we had, Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat sponsored the category. The most impactful category was sponsored by Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat. In fact, that time to sponsor a category was 50,000 naira. He gave us 100,000 naira.
Wow.
Yes. My chairman at 32 FM, Tunji Abioye, from inception, he has never failed every year to sponsor a category. In fact, he created his own category because 32 FM is about humor. So he created the funniest OAP category, and he has been sponsoring from inception till date.
Wow.
But Uncle Yemi Shonde, I think it was last year we approached him for the first time to come and sponsor a category, and he did. The chairman of iFlyer, we approached him to sponsor a category last year, and he did. Apart from these four, there is no other chairman
that you have walked to,
that we have sent letters to, that we have walked to. In fact,
that you have approached.
That we have approached. There is no other chairman that we have been able to approach. There are some people that you cannot approach them, that they are not inaccessible. Àwọn kan were accessible. In fact, àwọn kan, but there's no other chairman after these four that has in any way say, Primus Media Award, I support you. Never. See,
and you nominate people from their stations.
Every station. You nominate people from every station.
So they are always happy when their, presenters come back with award plaques.
When their presenter wins the award and they go snap with their chairman,
they will be happy with that.
They post, they are happy, they will share, they do everything, and they did not support.
Okay, we'll
and
be
you
using...
know when you want to app on that to support, they feel as if there was a particular station we dropped our letter asking the chairman to support. And then what we got was that category will win, and we did not go back.
Good.
And we did not go back.
Good.
And we did not go back because, come on, but if you cannot see these categories that I'm talking about, we have our colleagues are the ones most of the time are the ones sponsoring it. So that is why sometimes I'm not moved by what your guys are doing. That some of our people are seeing it. I have some wonderful people like Ronke Giwa, Mr. Sport, Pajuan, Kenny Ogumiloro. I have that's my GM in my office. I have Auntie, the GM of Solutions FM. She supported us at the time. I have a lot of Biofaliki supported us at one time. EOB. All of different people from different Dele Adeyanju, all of our senior colleagues, that they are the ones buying categories.
Wow.
Say this, I buy this particular category from their own pockets, that they are buying categories to support the event. So if they are also my Oga, but not the Oga. The Ogas that are closer to us, they believe in what we are doing and they are supporting us from time to time. The ones that can support us, they support us from time to time. Some people have the ability to support, but they don't want to support. And it's fine. Not everybody will believe in what you are doing. But for the guys at the top, maybe it is deliberate. Maybe it's because it's about supporting. We have some of them, we have written letters, some of them we have sent messages, we have done this, they have never, and we are still discussing and say,
we are hoping...
bless you, how they become. By the grace of God, we don't even want to write to them again. Because by the time you write to them, that is what gives some of them the belief that they can censor you. Which Bella Tima Dode. Come out with a border at the Dode Wagon, Nick Babekoja. A man do a junction here. So, was Paso playing bear. Go bear, Paso playing bear. I go Nick Babemo. By the presence of God, I go Nick Babemo. Because it is very painful when people try to censor you. When people try to censor you, it doesn't.
So, of course. we'll be using this particular platform of the facts and opinions to, call out the radio owners in Ibadan or your state, Southwest.
Unfortunately, no matter
No, what is what doing at all is what doing well. This award is for your presenters. So why can't you support? Of course.
And one way or the other, see, whether good or bad, their media house is getting known.
Getting mentioned. So why can't you support a platform like that?
They are getting the what do you call it? They are getting the platform. So there are some people that does not even know some radio stations.
Of course. So except if you tap on Primus Media.
There are some people like that. There are some people that doesn't listen to radio stations. They don't listen to radio, but they are always active online.
Yes.
And by chance or by luck, they come across this blog and see, oh, this thing. Most of your contents are always audience engaging. And most time when I click on your comments, it is always you see people arguing with themselves.
Yes.
And it's always like,
okay, I need Suru now.
So it's always like, and people you are also getting some popularity from that. So it's not bad if you support. So and you can always get
the good side always. Yes. You'll be getting some backlash too. Calm down.
Don't control the audience. Don't know what they will.
If you don't even post some content, the audience will think, oh, you are taking sides.
Yes. They will even bring it under the comment section. That's our audience. They will bring it under the comment section.
In fact, do you know that when movement happens and people don't believe it, people come on Primus.
Yes.
That's why we are very careful. That's why we are very careful to post, to break stories. So sometimes we are the last person to post because we want to confirm. Most of the time we contact the person involved. There was a particular massive movement last year, December.
Yes.
And that time, a lot of media blogs came up. A lot of media blogs, because see, Kinikon blog. They were posting all those transfer stories. So whenever we see one like this, we will never post it because we know that people believe that whatever they say on our page is confirmed. Yes. So even when we post someone and the person is denying it, and the person is denying it, and okay, Primus for the first time. I'm not worried. Time will tell. And then eventually, time will not tell. Because we have to everybody that we posted their story, we got sometimes we confirm from them, sometimes we confirm based on evidence that is glaring before we it's law already. So there's no room for saying somebody is denying. Some people will tell you Otoni, but Enyemati post here. I have like 2 people like that December say Otoni multicolor, but Enyemati post here. Total Intema post myself for you. And when it was time, they said, please, you can post now. And we obliged.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you all do enjoy this episode again, like I personally do. Yes, because I really do enjoy this. Yes. I've been willing to hear some of these things for a while now. Exactly. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And that is why you just have to keep following the Facts and Opinions podcast on all our social media platforms. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go and subscribe at the Facts and Opinions podcast. You have not seen anything. Baz is really coming. Yes, I can camera move, but dear for you. You know, Mona, but my channel here. Victor,
yeah. Never see anything. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Another episode is coming that will be a banger too. So stay tuned, follow the page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and watch out for more episodes. And we will still host our Oga again. And fortunately, we hope so. Sometimes in the future or in the nearest future, we will have a category that also favor podcast.
Yes.
No, we also be getting our own too. I mean,
you get something to place here.
Yes. A very big shout out to Cadence Apartments, Ologun Road. Thank you so much for having us every time. God bless you big. God bless you big. Thank you.
You can book this
apartments. Yes. Anytime, any day, we are available for bookings. So please do well to make your bookings today. We are located at Eleyele Ologun Road, Cadence Apartments. Check us out on Instagram. Yes. So Kades Apartment on Instagram. Check their page out to make your bookings now. Thank you so much. Till next time, Tatu Mama Mu, another Bass Bozwa for you. We still remain your favorites on the Facts and Opinions podcast. On the Facts and Opinions podcast, Arabin Ramat and
Oluwa Victor.
peace
So there
out.
is no Victor without the Oluwa.
Yes.